right, 20 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. I have a couple of friends that I grew up with in New York. They now live out in San Francisco. They were a little bit too young for some of the protests things that we may have seen in the late 60s. We were probably about 14 or so when Woodstock happened. I think something like that, 14 and 15. But they took that spirit with them. They're still out there. They're still protesting stuff.
Yeah, I know. It's hard. I see their pictures. It's like, gosh.
They are. Yeah, I know. You're friends with them also on Facebook. But it was an interesting time, and I don't know if it doesn't have to be in the 60s. It could be at any, when you're like college age, that a demographic, I guess. I mean, you go through a lot of different things, and this book that we're about to talk about handles that subject in a very, very funny way. It is called The Cow in the Doorway. Gino B. Bardi, I hope I'm saying your name right. Good morning, Gino. How are you?
I'm fine, and you said my name just fine.
Where are you? Where are you calling from?
I live in Florida as well.
Where?
I'm calling from Hudson.
Hudson?
Little tiny town outside of Tampa.
I've been to Hudson. I used to have family there, but she passed away. But anyway, so... yeah, I know Hudson really well.
It's a drive-through town. It's on 19.
Yes.
If you're coming from any place and you're going to anywhere else, you're going to drive down 19 right through Hudson.
So have you lived there long? Did you move down from upstate New York?
I did. My wife and I moved down in 2008, and we live... The nice thing about Hudson is it's mostly on the water, and we found a place to live on the water, so we've always wanted to do that. So we've been here since 2008.
So is there have you analyzed your own self? I mean, is there a reason why you went back and relived this time in your life?
Well, first of all, that's a story that is largely true. So it's hard to forget something that actually happened to you.
Right.
I've been writing for a long time since I was in high school, but I've always written for someone else. I've always written manuals and newspaper articles and that kind of stuff, and I never really had a chance to write fiction. And then when I moved into Florida, I had a terrible time adjusting to retirement. That wasn't working for me at all, so I decided I would try to write something in fiction. I wrote a bunch of short stories and stuff like that, and all this time, this story has been kicking around in my head, and so that's what I wrote.
So does it stem from any real-life experiences?
Yeah, almost everything in that book.
Well, that's what I thought. Okay, I was a little confused there for a minute. I thought you were going to tell me that everything I read, you just completely made it up. Okay.
No, it's not. No, in fact, almost everything happened to me at one point or another, and I just strung it all together and found some sort of adhesive to hold it together. And the specific details, almost everything happened.
What was the deal with your roommate? I mean, I think he sounded like he had some issues.
He had a lot of issues. He actually went into politics.
That explains everything.
I tried to contact him for this because he was a very hardworking, conscientious, and brilliant kid. But he was from the south side of Chicago, which at the time, in 1968, was loaded with gangs and slums and all that kind of stuff. And he was a black kid who got a gig at Cornell because he had terrific grades and great scores, and he got a full ride because of affirmative action, and he got a big scholarship. But he had only known people in the south side of Chicago, and I had only known white kids on Long Island. So we got thrown into this dorm room, which was about the size of a walk-in closet, and we both were kind of suspicious, I would say, of each other.
Sure. Did you have the soundtrack to Hair? I'm just guessing. I'm guessing somewhere in there you had that Hair album. Am I right?
No, we weren't listening to Hair. In fact,
he likes In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
Oh, that's right.
That was the other guys. This kid didn't listen to anything. He worked all day long. He typed on this little typewriter all day long. and he decided that we had nothing in common, so we didn't talk to each other. And I had a militant father who had taught me to be afraid of non-white people, which I didn't want to do because I was a hippie.
But see, you would have changed that if you had listened to Hair. You would.
That was scary.
You remember the song "Black Boys Are Delicious"? That would have changed everything for you.
That would have definitely changed everything. Yeah, but I don't think he would have appreciated it. I think that would have just made things worse.
I really like the fact I love your humor. I love your scenarios, but you also live in the real world. I mean, you've helped people through advertising and things, but you didn't get paid for it. I mean, you sent them their bill. They came in with the understanding of that, but yet you still keep your good humor about life.
You have to.
Well, thank you very much. We were one of the few people in the business that we were in. My wife and I were printers. We had a print shop and an advertising agency and stuff like that. We were one of the few people in that line of work that escaped whole out of it after the 2008 collapse. So when we got to Florida, and we were able to sell the business and get out of there with our lives, we were actually in a pretty good mood. So we've tried to keep that.
It helps.
Have you gone back? Have you gone back to your old to Ithaca? Have you gone back and relived it from decades later? As often as I can. In fact, I'm going to do that again in a couple of weeks. Do you have a closer bond to Ithaca than you do to Long Island?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to college in 1968, as soon as I left, my parents moved. And they were nice enough to give me their forwarding address.
That's nice.
For real?
They could easily have not given me the forwarding address.
For real, or is that just a comedian in you telling me that?
No, they did move. But yes, they did give me their forwarding address. But since they moved to Connecticut. I didn't have the reason or the opportunity to go back to Long Island, where I had been for like 15 years. So that would have been a special trip with no place to stay.
Yeah,
so when
right.
you have no money,
you
don't really do that. So it was years and years before I went back to Long Island. But I have so many friends in Ithaca right now that I'm never hard up for a place to stay. And the great thing is that the people that I knew back in the days that the book takes place were all long-haired hippies and sat around smoking pot and playing guitar and doing all the long-haired hippie stuff that we all miss. They're now running Cornell University.
Yeah, I bet. I bet they are. Yeah.
They a lot of them went to work in menial jobs like I had while I was there, but they never left because Ithaca is like a huge magnet. If you like Ithaca, you don't want to leave, and the town just keeps getting bigger and bigger with graduates from the university. So like if you wanted to go to Ithaca right now and get a job, if you had a master's degree, you might get a busboy job, that kind of thing.
Right, sure, yeah. Did you you? I mean, you're very good at writing, and you've got I love your sense of humor. Have you thought, oh my gosh, I missed the boat. I should have done this years ago. You're not too old. You could still do this. I mean, have you thought about writing like? I mean, this could be the basis for I don't know if a sitcom, but at least a film.
Exactly.
I weep over this topic. I weep over. I look at the ceiling in the middle of the night and I say, why am I doing this now?
Yeah,
why didn't I
right.
I was 23.
You could have been SNL's head writer or something. The Cow in the Doorway is the book. Gino B. Bardi, thank you so much. I have a copy here. Call me if you want the copy that was sent to us, even though I don't really want to get rid of it.
No. I want you to tell everybody you can think of that they should get a copy.
Well, tell me how to do that. Do you have a website?
I'm actually working on the website right now, and it should be up and running in a couple of days. And the website is Gino Bardi Author.
Okay.
No, that's my Facebook page. The website is just Gino Bardi.
Okay, but we can find you on Facebook right now. Okay.
Yes, and you can also get the book on Amazon.com simply by looking for the title, The Cow in the Doorway, or by looking for me.
All right. I think you're going to enjoy this book. I know our listeners, they're going to like this one. The Cow in the Doorway. Gino, Gino. B is his middle initial. Bardi is how you spell Bardi. Thank you, Gino. That was fun.
Thank you very much.
We could have talked a whole lot longer, I think. So definitely come back.
Well, call me back when you're bored.
All right. We'll do that. All right. We will be right back. You're listening to The Source, WOCA.
We report, you decide.
For me, it was the big S-Class from the 90s. Beautiful. My friend's dad had one.
The SL. All of the SLs. I've been watching those since I was a kid.
I think the 1971 SC was the first Mercedes that just blew me away.
Everyone remembers the first time they saw one, and the day they began to long for a Mercedes-Benz of their own. Well, that day may be a lot closer than you think. With a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, you can experience the luxury, the unparalleled safety, the performance, and the style Mercedes-Benz is famous for at a price you can afford. Beautiful SUVs, sedans, coupes, and convertibles that are factory certified and covered by an unlimited mileage warranty for up to 3 years, so you can drive without a worry for as far as you like. And during the certified pre-owned sales event going on now through May 31st, you can receive 2 years of complimentary prepaid maintenance and special financing available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. You've waited long enough.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
Everybody around here knows that Bob Wine's Camellia Garden sells quality trees for less every day. But during his truckload tree sale going on right now, the tree deals are spectacular. Now, get a number 1 size red maple or loquat tree, regular $39.99, just $19.99. Get a big number 10 size Drake elm for $50 under the money at $79.99. Other great specials this week. Ocala's biggest selection of crepe myrtles, starting as low as $4.99, all the way up to those big 7 and 10 footers. Buy one, get one free, delivered, planted, and guaranteed. Hybrid daylilies, buy one, get one free. And those famous red ruffle, ever-blooming azaleas, still just $2.99. Hurry for these weekend holiday specials, daily till 4, Saturdays till 3. Closed Memorial Day on the easy southeast side of Ocala since 1952.
The many causes of back pain vary, some of which can be very scary. Whether your tweak begins up high in your neck or down lower just above your cheek, acupuncture can help ensure that you have a pain-free week. Come see me, Dr. Erica Olstein, at A Better You Healthcare, just off of 27th Avenue behind the Paddock Mall. Call today to set your acupuncture appointment. Call 352-615-5566 and visit abetteryouhealthcare.com.
Some would say that this country is in the toilet. Some would even go so far as to say the economy is going down the drain. But we say, if water runs through it, we do it.
Hi, I'm Sean Scott, owner of Mike Scott Plumbing, and I approve this message.
Hi, I'm Big Daddy Don Garlitz, asking you to support adoption by purchasing a Choose Life license plate from your county tag office. You know it costs a lot to give a child life. Many times a woman is forced to make a bad choice because of financial pressures. Help save the lives of the unborn children by aiding women whom choose life instead of abortion. Take a stand for life. Purchase your Choose Life license plate today. For more information, go to chooselife.org or call 352-624-2854.
Here are today's headlines from The Source, WOCA. The Marion County Sheriff's Office announced on Saturday that 2 majors had been suspended and placed on paid administrative leave. Interim Marion County Sheriff Emery Gainey suspended Major Don Maines of the Bureau of Professional Standards and Major Tommy Bibb of the Bureau of Special Investigations, placing them on paid administrative leave. Officials stated that there is no active Marion County Sheriff's Office internal affairs investigation being conducted in relation to the suspensions. The suspension period for the two majors is indefinite, according to officials. The personnel moves come in the wake of Sheriff Gainey being appointed to the position of interim sheriff by Governor Rick Scott this week. Gainey assumed the duties of suspended Marion County Sheriff Chris Blair, who was indicted on Friday on perjury and misconduct charges following an investigation into a 2014 standoff between deputies and suspect Dustin Heathman. A man's body was found pinned underneath a car Saturday in the parking lot of a shopping complex in Daytona Beach. Police were called just before noon to the scene on International Speedway Boulevard behind a Hobby Lobby. A passerby with her family discovered the body while in the parking lot. When officers arrived, they found the man's body pinned underneath a car. Police say it appears the man was trying to repair the damaged vehicle but became pinned when the car hinged forward. Police now believe this same man's green car was involved in a hit and run around 8 p.m. Saturday night on Bevel Road before ending up behind the shopping plaza. Detectives are still sorting out the details of the hit-and-run incident, but a witness reportedly said the victim's car was involved. Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders is not masking his dislike for Democratic National Committee chairwoman and Florida Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Sanders told CNN State of the Union that he supports Wasserman Schultz's opponent, Tim Canova, in the 23rd Congressional District. He said, quote, his views are much closer to mine than is Wasserman Schultz, unquote. The Vermont senator also said that if he winds up in the White House, Wasserman Schultz will be out of a job. He said if elected president, she would not be reappointed to be chair of the DNC. His campaign has maintained that Wasserman Schultz and the DNC have favored Hillary Clinton in the race for the Democratic presidential nomination. The launch pad at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station will be a busy place over the next month with 3 launches scheduled. The first is set for this Thursday as SpaceX attempts to launch a Falcon 9 rocket carrying a Thaicom 8 communications satellite into orbit. SpaceX says the 2-hour launch window opens at 5:40 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday. Friday is the backup day. United Launch Alliance has the next 2 launches. On Saturday, June 4th, ULA plans to launch a Delta IV heavy rocket from the Cape. It will be carrying a spy satellite for the United States government. Another military satellite is scheduled to go up on June 24th on an Atlas V rocket. Starting this weekend, the nighttime will come alive at Disney's Animal Kingdom for the first time ever. New nighttime experiences are set to debut at the park beginning May 27th. Animal spirits will be brought to life each night at the park's icon Tree of Life. The projection display will feature music as well as colorful stories. One of the highly anticipated attractions also begins next weekend, nighttime Kilimanjaro safaris. For the first time ever, guests will be able to explore the savannah at night while hearing sounds of the animals like never before. The village of Harambe also comes alive for the Wildlife Party, a celebration with singers, dancers, and food. And those are the headlines from the source WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accidents. For Monday, partly sunny and quite pleasant, the high 84 to 89. Mainly clear Monday night, low 63 and a few inland spots near 70 along the coast. For Tuesday, partly sunny and quite warm, high 85 to 90. And Wednesday, more the same, partly sunny, the high 84 to 89. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
WOCA,
This is WOCA, News Talk 1370.
News from a Southeast AgNet.
I'm talking with Florida's Commissioner of Agriculture, Adam Putnam. Commissioner, since being elected, you have made the state's concealed weapon license program one of your highest priorities.
One of the great privileges and more interesting responsibilities of serving as Commissioner of Agriculture involves overseeing the state's concealed weapons license program. And yes, since taking office, I've made it a big priority to make the process to get your license as efficient and customer-friendly as possible.